evening, everyone. I'll open up the Select Board meeting for Tuesday, October 7th. We're running a little behind at 6:35 p.m., so we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'll try to slide in. Hold on. Nope, it's caught. Okay. All right. A couple of announcements. We have a reminder, the Bulky Waste Day is Saturday, October 18th, 2025, from 7 o'clock in the morning till 12 noon at Resource Waste, 198 East Street in Ware. We also started with the leaf, branch, and vegetation debris fall drop-off disposal date. The information is on the Town of Ware website with the various dates and the time. So please make and afford yourself of that. I have a consent agenda to do first, and then we'll go to comments and concerns. So consent agenda, I've asked one of the members to make the motion to not include the executive session meeting minutes this time, but rather just the open session meeting minutes of September 16th. May I have a motion?
I move we table approval of the executive session minutes listed for a future meeting.
And do I have a second?
Second.
So now we have the approval of the open session meeting minutes of September 16th. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And slide the papers underneath. Comments and concerns, I'm going to limit probably because it's a very lengthy agenda, so everyone gets to speak, but hopefully for 3 minutes or...
I'll try to be super quick.
Oh, 3 minutes.
All right, I'll skip that.
If you go forward, it's okay.
We have some wonderful potential grants that we're trying to apply for. The big, beautiful bill promised $50 billion. 25 is being divided evenly amongst the state. That's $500 million to the state of Massachusetts. And it was a very quick time frame, so we're really jumping on this. We're trying to send to the state requirements for our community. And so we've got Stuart working on it, Peter Durant, possibly Hardwick. We're trying to pull together things. I think it's like up to like $26 million, including getting a federally qualified health center in here, equipment, all kinds of good things. So we shall see. Out of $500 million, I'm hoping that our town, which is in the smack in the center of the state, this is for rural health care, so I'm really hoping that's going to go through.
Thank you for taking the lead on that, Cynthia.
Yes.
It's my understanding you initiated and are the one that are really instrumental in the submission.
I'm so grateful. We had worked and we had a really nice professional plan all ready to go, and we had Amy Shea from the Health Foundation of Central Mass. She put in a recommending funds for the town, so it's really, I'm really hopeful.
Okay. Anyone else? Or you are not
yeah, and then the other quick thing is I know we're going to be reviewing the audit, and I just want to show you, I've got 2016 tax returns, I've got 2023 tax returns. I can see very clearly who the money went to and how much money was sent from Bay State Foundation to back to Mary Lane. It shows all kinds of millions of dollars. Everything always went to the different entities, Bay State Health, Bay State Franklin, all these different things. Out of all this, one time in 2016, Mary Lane got $46,000. We can see that through the tax returns. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the audit results.
So while we're on the audit, I did bring a copy of the audit with me. It summarizes essentially the accounting firm of Myers Brothers and Kalika. We're the ones that conducted the audit. Stuart, myself, and Dr. Trace met with the people at Bay State on last Friday, including Peter Banco. Lori Martin is the one that has given us the letter as well as the summary report. And Stuart, if you want to just allude to, he wanted a little bit more of a defined statement because they are not forthcoming, nor will they provide the full audit when we requested it. their concern is they feel that the auditing firm has told them it's private. They stand behind it, and that's why we got the summary report. But Stuart, if you want to just tell them what you asked for.
So, sure, first off, the report Mrs. Talbot has in front of her, that's posted on the hospital website, on the town's website. We asked for more for two reasons. One is brief, and you'll see that it's brief if you haven't already. But two, at least to my layperson's mind, there's some language there that's not really English that's easy for everyone to understand. So we requested, and Mr. Banco agreed, that they will ask the auditor to prepare a summary of the summary so that everyone can understand. As Mrs. Talbot said, they backed off the commitment for the full audit. The auditing firm had liability concerns related to the auditing firm, and I think that's the primary reason, not necessarily liability of Bay State. So that's where it is, and
As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, I contacted both Mike Napick, and I never can remember, is it full title, Eastern Regional something? Anyway, as well as Attorney Ryan Barry, and I was directed to tell anyone that further questions with regard to the audit should be directed directly to Attorney Barry at Bulkey, Richardson, and Glenis. So just to clarify that, we are staying on top of it, so.
And I think that would include questions like what you just had, that are
Mhm.
numerical questions, can go to him and he can ask the auditors to clarify your answer.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever really going to get a clear answer, but
Right.
I do want to let you know that I did follow up with Attorney General's office. Emily Gabrault was communicating with her yesterday. I always ask about the missing $10 million because everyone wants to ignore that there's another $10 million. But she did say, in part of this, I can assure you that the AGOs takes seriously the proper use of all trust funds once held by Mary Lane Hospital and has included the review therefore in our process. I still believe there's just an ongoing investigation into all of this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Granlund?
Just two quick housekeeping things. Back on August the 6th, I believe it was, I brought up the ever-present minutes situation.
Right.
It was referred to Stuart, and there was a question as to when they would be completed, because they were not yet completed, from March 25th to August the 6th, as of that date. And there was a back and forth, but Stuart said that the minutes would be completed and posted by that Friday, which would have been August the 9th. So now it's 2 months later, and you mentioned the fact, yes, but they'll be posted as drafts, because they hadn't been approved yet.
Correct.
So we're 2 months later now, and I've got it right on my phone, and no minutes for January, February, or March of this year, not posted as drafts, just blank. So where are they?
Stuart?
All the minutes, it's a good question, but all the minutes of the meetings that were not posted were posted by that date. Worked with Elena Palladino. We reviewed when meetings were held and when they were not. Turned out there were 3 sets of minutes missing. Those were posted by that date in August. They've been on the website since. They are, I guess, technically still drafts because
we
the
haven't
committee
approved
has not met. So they're there.
But they're physically, I'm on the site, they're physically not there.
They're, the 3 meetings are there.
They are there?
They are.
So are they in a different location than where it says minutes?
Sometimes
No.
the phone is not,
No, they're there. I can give you I can email you the specific dates that we did, but they're there.
The smartphones sometimes also are not smart. I know I've tried to find stuff.
Yeah, our website doesn't
On our
interact
website.
with the smartphones
Correct.
No.
so well.
You have to
But-
go into
yeah,
like the
sometimes the
history
browsers
and
don't always work on
open
the
up.
phone. So if you go on a desktop, it might be
Well,
there.
we weren't told that. She's telling me now that the browser does not actually work with phones. So I gotta go and find an actual computer to sit down at. Would it be possible for me to get the minutes printed,
Printed and emailed if you want.
printed copies?
Sure.
Give it, Steve, just give Nicole your email, she
Right,
will give
I'll
you
give it.
draft copies.
The
Okay.
second matter was at that same meeting, toward the end of the meeting. I asked if the board would please ask Dr. Howard Treach to provide a letter to the board that he would sign that indicated simply, yes or no, did he work for Bay State Health Partnerships? And how much was he paid? Does the board have any interest in knowing? Because I emailed him about this matter in January and told him I was referring it as part of my federal referrals. And 3 weeks later, at the February meeting, he announced he was dissolving the hospital review committee because they've accomplished all they could. In fact, when I asked him at the meeting, how much did they pay you? He jumped up and scurried out that door like a chipmunk. Is anyone on the board interested? Because I have the articles, I have the documents, I have the information. Is anyone interested in the fact that Howard Treach said he had no income, no freebies, no pension, no nothing? But I have this lengthy article, 2 pages full, that he was selected by Bay State Health to head Bay State Health Partnerships to direct the liaison between Bay State and its physicians. Not Bay State physicians, but independent physicians who worked with Bay State. He didn't want to answer the questions. He's gone. This, I believe, is the reason he shut everything down. So it'd be interesting to see if the minutes reflect his lengthy February discussion where he relayed how he never got anything. Interestingly, short term after that, I got a private message from an individual who knows him well, who said he was speaking about this very matter, and he admitted that he had a position as a liaison for which he was paid a stipend for about a year. He said he didn't get a gift, he didn't get a thing, and yet he spoke to someone he thought he could have a conversation with, but it appears this person doesn't really like him all that much. And this is how I found out about this in the first place. People inside Bay State told me that Howard Treach needs to be checked out because he, in fact, got payments. He was on the Board of Trustees 8 years, many different things. Is the board interested in having him give you a letter that says yes or no, did he work at Bay State Health Partnerships, and did he receive any form of payment? That's it.
Thank you, Steve.
There were other things as well, but that's the only reason he abruptly decided to shut down the whole hospital review committee.
He didn't
No other
decide,
reason.
he did not decide to do anything. The committee has not met to ask to be dissolved by the Board of Selectmen because we do need to meet and approve those minutes because they are still in draft form.
But you are allowing him to continue to take part in negotiations with Bay State, and he has, in my mind, based on what I've been told, an interest. Now, the feds will do, they'll do an accounting investigation,
Okay, thank you.
a forensic one. They'll find out.
Thank you,
Does the board want to know?
thank you. I'm not responding. I don't know if board members want to respond, but I'm not responding. Thank you. Anyone else tonight? No? Then we'll move forward with other items under the agenda. We have scheduled appearances. Do we have anybody here from Aspen Street Rod and Gun Club? I know they were notified to hopefully come to a meeting. Is there anyone here from Aspen Street? Stuart, have you heard as to whether or not anybody's coming?
We have not heard anything.
Huh?
We have not heard anything.
Okay, so just for everyone's knowledge, town manager, I had heard that Aspen Street had closed. They were holding just a couple private events. I think I related that. So Stuart did send out a letter, and you all have it. But basically, we're asking what their intentions are. And
Yep.
according to ABCC, we do need to put them on notice. That was the purpose of tonight's hearing. They have up to 6 months to act as to whether or not they're going to sell use or whatever. In the meantime, it's already October, and Nicole, you've already started sending out renewals, so I know that they've been sent out information, so I'd like to see if we can make contact, Stuart, maybe even by telephone, to let them know that we need to get something in writing by them as to whether or not they are going to stay closed till the end of December. If so, it is their license to hold, they paid for it, but they cannot use it.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
I believe I saw in the Ware River News a notice for members of the Aspen Street Club. They were holding a meeting, and the discussion was the sale of the property, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know that they were supposed to have a meeting around the 14th, and then it got changed to a different day, so I don't know, the 14th of
Yeah,
September.
and maybe it wasn't the sale of, but it was a membership meeting to discuss, I can't remember the exact wording, but certainly it was the future of the club.
I know.
Future operations.
I've heard that they are financially distressed at the present time. So ours is not to surmise what's going on, but rather to find out. I'm sure we must have a contact there, whether it's, okay, all right. So we will take no action on that because we can't hold the hearing. We also have, let me just flip papers and not get confused. We also have a resignation from Devin Peterson, a member of the Board of Assessors. It says, I'm in receipt of the resignation of Devin Peterson, a member of the Board of Assessors. His term was to expire in April of 2027. Mr. Peterson's resignation is effective as of October 1st. He really should be congratulated for his dedication as years of service to the town of Ware as an assessor. He also, I believe, was a member of the Finance Committee for several years. Per Mass General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 11, when a vacancy occurs in an elected board of the town, the remaining members of the board and the members of the select board shall fill the vacancy by setting a joint meeting and the appointment of an other interested individual to fill the seat. And it will be done by a roll call vote, but the term will only be till the next annual town election, at which time that office will appear for the remainder of the term. I've spoken with Mr. Fountain, the chairman of the assessors, and we agree the position should be advertised for 2 or 3 weeks at least. A joint meeting could be scheduled for either November 4th or 18th, depending on whether or not we do get applications. So that's just for the board's knowledge, but we do need to take a vote to accept his resignation.
Move to accept the resignation for Dennis Peterson.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
If I might, before we vote, I just want to comment that Devin was a member of the Finance Committee when I was on it, and he really was a stellar representative on behalf of the town. His knowledge of the town and the operations of the town and what he brought to the understanding, especially from a capital finance point of view, looking at the larger purchases. We were sad to see him leave the Finance Committee so he could focus on the assessors as he was pursuing work and other opportunities. But I think it's a real loss for the town to lose him as an assessor. So I just want to
Thank you.
state how much his work was appreciated.
Thanks for the kind words.
All right. Under old business?
We have to vote.
Oh, sorry, I thought we did. That's right before. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Under old business, I see nothing. Under new business, this is my favorite always.
Here we go.
Schedule a date and time for Halloween town trick or treating. Guess what, guys?
It's
It's Friday, October 31st. We don't need to decide anything unless you want to set a time.
No, okay.
I say, let people do what they want. It's Halloween.
Yes,
Is that okay?
yes,
Cool. Can we do that for the future too?
There you go.
yes.
All right. The only thing I would, Stuart, do you remember the thing at the park? Is it the prior week
24th.
of the 24th?
24th.
So,
Yeah, it's the
so
24th.
October 24th is the drive-through that the KFC is doing, so, anyway. But all that information will be on the website. So we should say on our website, celebrate Halloween on Halloween.
Yes.
All right. Now we have.
Can I make interject something also? I think we should keep it on Halloween.
I do too.
Okay, because what I think is happening is that when you have it different, then you're inviting all the other towns to come in
Correct.
because they go to their town festivities on Halloween, but we have it differently, so then they wait and they come in.
Right.
So
And you
I
wanna
would
know-
like to
You want to know
always
the
have.
famous street for having everyone attend?
Well, Jack,
It's on Jack Street.
Yeah, Jack knows best than everybody every year.
I'm highly favor. I've always wondered, because we don't tell people when to celebrate any of the other holidays, so, all right.
So, did everybody nod to that?
Yeah.
We will not have
It's a
it, we will not have it on a
unanimous
future
nod,
agenda.
yes.
Ever.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Now we have a request to schedule a dangerous dog hearing for October 21st at 7 PM. We have a public hearing notice. The Select Board will conduct a public hearing on the 21st at 7 PM in the Selectmen's Meeting Room, 126 Main Street, to hear a dangerous dog complaint regarding a dog owned by a resident of Westbrook Ave Ware. This will be in the paper, and Nicole, do you send this out certified to the individual?
I
or-
do, and the
and regular
plaintiff
mail?
and the abutters.
And the abutters, okay, perfect. So I need a motion and a second.
Before we do, is it appropriate just to give us an overview as to what the nature of the complaint is, or does that have to wait and take place at only the
Nope,
public hearing?
Stuart can,
In brief, and we can get you the animal control officer's report too, a dog attacking a dog and viciously, and I guess that's, and so, in summary, that's what it is. It wasn't an attack on a person, but another dog.
so you will get back on
Okay,
information.
thank you.
So it's important that we get all that documentation for the meeting. So we voted on that, correct?
Nope.
Nope. So we need a motion and a second.
I move we post a public hearing notice for a public hearing on Tuesday, October 21, 2025 at 7 PM to hear a dangerous dog complaint regarding a dog owned by a resident of Westbrook Ave, Ware, Mass.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we have a request for consideration of a reduction of quorum to a special town meeting, which will be held at Ware High School on November 17th, 2025 at 6:30. The notice says, notice is hereby given that the Select Board will hold a scheduled hearing on Tuesday, the 21st, starting at 6:30 at the Ware Town Hall Meeting Room, 126 Main Street, Ware, to discuss potentially reducing the quorum for the special town meeting scheduled for Monday, November 17th at 6:30. The Select Board is inviting all public to attend for the community input, and we'll put this in the paper and on the website. Do it correct? Ken?
So just a reminder for myself, what's our current quorum? Is it 100?
100.
And what are we considering? Are we considering?
That's what
Is
we're
that
That's
what
the
we're
whole
gonna
point of the
decide?
hearing. We'll
You'll
just close out
decide,
the
but
discussion.
you could tie it to the charter
To the
committee's
charter,
recommendation, which was 80, right?
80,
Yeah.
80, or we can do 0. Seems that when we do that, we seem to have an abundance of people show up.
I think we've done, in the past, we've done 75 and it did fly, and then we had a
Yeah.
lot of people show up, which is great. So, all right, so I need a motion and a second to set that hearing.
Second it.
No, we have to do the motion
Make a
first.
motion to hold a hearing for the reduction of quorum for the special town meeting, which would occur on November 17th, 2025.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have discuss and approve a policy for exhibition of unattended signs on town-owned property. This has been on the agenda several times. We finally got something prepared. I'll read it. Town Aware Select Board Policy for the exhibition of unattended signs on town-owned property. If we adopt it, it would be effective as of today, and it will go on the website, and it will also be where we have other policies. One purpose, this policy addresses the placement of unattended signs on property under the care, custody, and control of the Select Board of the town of Ware, better known as town. The town does not, nor has it ever intended to allow unattended, non-governmental signs on town-owned property or designate such town-owned property as a public forum. 2, definitions and applicability. For purposes of this policy, the term unattended sign means any sign placed, affixed to, or planted in or on town property. In contrast, an unattended sign in quotes means a sign held by or in the direct custody of a person. This policy applies only to unintended signs. The policy does not apply to attended signs, nor does it address the specific locations or circumstances in which attended signs may be displayed, regulated, or prohibited. This policy does not apply to Ware public school property. Number 3, governmental speech. No unattended signs shall be allowed on town-owned property under the care, custody, and control of the Select Board other than as authorized by the Select Board as an expression of the town's government speech. The Select Board's decision to post an unattended sign on town property is not intended to create or to serve as a forum for free expression by the public. Instead, the Select Board may elect at its sole discretion to place an unattended sign on property under its care to reflect the town's official position through its government speech, such as by way of example only in recognition of federal and/or state holidays, days or months of celebration or commemoration, and/or other celebrations, remembrances, or positions within the community. Number 4, determination to post signs on government speech. In the event the board wishes to consider placement of an unattended sign on town property as government speech reflective of town's official position on a particular subject, the board shall vote at properly posted open meeting on the particular subject. The select board's choice of whether to place, affix, or plant an unattended sign on town-owned property, the manner in which such a decision is made, and the adoption of this policy shall not be interpreted as designating any town-owned property as a public forum for non-governmental signs. 5, the effective date and amendment. This policy shall be effective upon its adoption and may be amended from time to time by the select board. Discussion.
A question to Stuart. Stuart, how does this apply to the town properties where there's employees? Would this apply to all town buildings and thus to the actions of the employees within that building?
Yes.
So what would be the enforcement?
Go pick up the sign and put it in a pile. And then B, if it's identifiable, and notify the person who did it that it's not allowed.
Can someone give me an example of what all this means? Because I'm sitting here wrapping my head, and what is all this?
So,
Just like an example.
so
Political
if
sign.
if I hold a political sign, vote for Bullwinkle,
All right.
and I take it to Veterans Park, and I want to go get a coffee, and I stick it in the ground and walk away, that's an unattended sign and therefore not allowed.
Okay.
Or during a
Or
campaign,
during a
placing a political sign on town property to raise visibility of the candidate, but leaving it there would be an
Okay.
unattended sign.
But so this can go in somebody's front yard still?
Yep.
Everything else?
Oh,
that-
absolutely.
This is
Okay.
town.
Yeah,
This is
it's
town
only
property.
It's just town property.
Yep.
Is there a real issue with that? Because, I mean, common sense, you
Annually,
can't do
there
that.
are
Yeah.
It has
tens of
happened.
signs that
Yeah.
get picked up.
It has happened.
It
And
has
I
happened.
And I spoke to council, and she said a lot of communities have gone
Okay.
to
I
this, that
just-
way there. It shows no bias this way, for allowing some, not others, or whatever, like, you don't allow any unattended signs.
Okay. I'm just trying to wrap my, is this really what the world has come to, people?
Yes.
I mean, really? Wow. I live under a rock, apparently.
No,
This is why I don't watch TV.
it's too expensive too.
Oh my God, is it?
Anyway, any other questions? No?
No.
Then
Makes
motion,
sense.
motion to approve then?
I move we approve the Town of Ware Select Board policy for the exhibition of unattended signs on town-owned property dated October 7th, 2025.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we can sign.
This is not retroactive, correct? It's as of today going forward.
What?
This sign restriction,
It's effective today.
it's not retroactive in any way. I asked specifically about the memorial banner we put up in front of Mary Lane Hospital on the day the demolition began. And all I did was honor people who were born there, received care there, worked there, to memorialize all who died there. It wasn't a political sign, it was to memorialize, and many people came with Sharpies wanting to sign the banner. But shortly after 7 a.m., Bay State workers cut the sign down.
But that was not public
That's not
property,
public property, Steve.
not under our policy.
Where they have surveyed the property, it's pretty nondescript. And let's say even if it was their property, you gotta admit, it's pretty darn small to not allow people to express their emotions about something being destroyed in a matter of weeks that had spent a century on their property. And their attorneys simply said that it was on our property without proof. So we took it and we kept it, and message was delivered by phone to the chief after he called, because someone who was on site, again, I have friends, someone on site told me how it was taken and who took it. So Bay State is like a sieve. Information goes out. Here's a heartfelt sign, and the town, you know, can you put a, you know, you can't put a Merry Christmas sign up anywhere, who knows?
Okay. We don't have anything to my knowledge, but do we need to have a discussion about winter parking again? I was trying to prolong this because, you know, I'm not a fan of winter. Enjoy the weather we've had. I guess we should start the discussion. Generally, it starts December 1st.
This, correct me if I'm wrong, this discussion that we would like to have is whether you wish, I mean, we have a good process in place for registering all the vehicles so that we have information. A question we wanted to bring to the board was whether you wish to continue charging for those stickers. We charge 30, and veterans are free currently. It's important that the stickers are important so that, for example, the police know who to call to clear on a day of a snowstorm, but
But the revenue is negligible, correct?
it's 30 times 40, it's probably 1,200, 1,500.
So veterans are free. What about senior citizens?
Currently not, but worthy.
I don't know.
At that point,
Personally, and I don't want to jump in, but I see it more of an issue for us to not have the cars in a place where they're not on the street interfering with snow plowing. I personally would say, make people get the sticker so that it affords them the ability to park in any one of the public lots. And that way there, it would probably generate more people applying for a sticker instead of having people get their cars towed or have the police have to get in touch with them, come move your car because the snow trucks are coming to plow. I don't know, anybody else?
I agree.
Was there a history why that fee was enacted? Was there?
Just generation of income.
Yeah, I agree with Nancy and Josh. I'm not supportive of charging for it.
That's fine.
Nicole has her hand up.
So just to give you a little background, we charge $30 for a parking sticker. Parking ticket is $15. So that's that, and then I think last year we only had 36 people registered.
And I think it dropped off from the previous year.
The previous year we had 60.
Correct.
Do we know how many tickets were issued?
I don't keep track of that number.
But they're mostly, correct me if I'm wrong, they're mostly for on-street parking, so this
Right.
actually
They
helps
are.
that.
I think.
And they're repetitive
Yeah.
offenders.
Correct. So, just a motion then to not charge for the parking stickers, but to rather publicize the fact that we need to have people
Yeah, let's try it
applying
this
for
year.
them. Okay.
Let's try it this year and see what the results are.
How's the rest of the board feel?
Well, I'm wondering if we put a sticker on, or some information on a windshield stating that, you know, if you purchase for $50?
30.
$30? I mean, it's a sort of a no-brainer. If you pay $30 for a sticker, you can park anywhere you want within the confines, okay? Not doing that, it's gonna cost you, you know, X amount of dollars. And, you know, you can maybe put something in the form of a ticket, but it's not, you know, just to give them a heads up.
They do give warnings.
What's that?
The first
The
ticket is
police
a
officers
warning.
do give warnings
Oh, okay.
on the ticket, and then they say warning on the bottom rather than the dollar amount. But sometimes they go back and actually write a ticket for the $15.
Now, with that warning, does a description of what they could do by purchasing?
No,
Okay, maybe we could.
they don't say like, go get a sticker, no.
Yeah, maybe we could do that
That's not up to me, that's up to the police
to
officers.
the police department. Okay, we could.
I guess I look at it, we really need to do due diligence in advertising. We have those two electronic signs.
We do.
With winter coming, the new sign out there could actually say it, we put information, thing. to, in cable TV that essentially allows for people, you have this period of time, come and get your sticker, they're free this year. That way there, you will not get a ticket for parking on the street.
What if we were also to go and put up like a physical sign or something like that at each town lot stating,
Yeah.
please come and get, you know, I understand what you're saying with the,
Is
with
it
those signs.
unattended?
Is it, well, we'll approve it, I guess, we're gonna approve it, I don't know. But, I mean, something out there like on a you know, a bear, you know, like a construction barrel
Yeah.
with the stickers
Well, just
on there.
come get your
Come get the
sticker.
stickers, you know, this is where you come and get it. So this way here, not everybody watches the cable,
Right.
I don't have it. Not everybody gets
Right.
Ware River News.
Right.
Not everybody, especially as we found out today, use a cell phone, and it's not very user-friendly on it, right? So let's make our best efforts, and
Right, that's why I said those big electronic arming signs
Yeah.
are telling other things.
if we just pull them around and get them to each lot.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Can do that.
Kathy?
I'm just gonna make a comment, just asking here, so is the concern, which I would guess, is, yes, people get stickers so you know they're like residents and they're parking up there probably, right? So I agree, if we don't have to charge, that's better. But the issue is that people really don't care and they keep parking in wrong areas. Is that kind of what I'm hearing? And then you said it's only a $15 ticket. So if the issue is you get these repeat offenders and they don't seem to care, should something be looked at as a repeat offender instead of just a $15 ticket? I'm sorry, if it's a pain in the neck for our plowers to plow and they're being negligent, should we be doing more? Should after a second or third time, you know, the expense go up? Because if that's the issue you're really trying to address versus, okay, we've got the parking up here, yes, use it, but you got those repeat offenders that don't want to.
Right,
Well,
as
they
much.
have to pay $15 every time they get a ticket, so eventually that ticket's gonna cost you $75 instead of the.
Yeah, but
And if they don't
But it
pay
takes
the-
that
And if
long.
they don't pay within the 20 days, it goes to Jeffrey and Jeffrey for
Correct.
action.
And the other thing is the tickets that do mount up, we have had repeat calls from people who tried, they were even out of state trying to do a driver's license or whatever, and they find out that they have a fine.
That's good, I'm just saying, I
against
didn't know if
them. No,
they-
there's repercussions for not doing it, so I think, let's give people the opportunity to take advantage of doing what you have so that we are helping the town, but we're also helping them, so. Can
So,
I,
can I just ask one thing?
Yeah.
Because Kathy kind of, again, I'm assuming, every time you get a ticket, it isn't doubled, or there's not a deeper consequence? I think,
no. it's not
I
$10.
really think that that's what it should be, is the consequence gets more severe.
But the officer on the street doesn't have a way of tracking that.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So-
okay.
Every time he encounters the vehicle, it's like the first time he's encountered.
And it's also not always the same officer.
But the people that rack them up are also likely not paying, and then they're gonna get tagged at the registry, and then there's big fees.
Oh,
Okay.
sizable amounts.
All right,
I mean,
no,
you got
I,
a license and stuff like
So
that.
I think someone made a motion.
Yes, I move that we do not include a $30 charge for the winter parking stickers this year, and we monitor the program and get a report back in the spring.
Do we have a second?
second.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Now we're gonna have a roundtable discussion with Ed Knight, giving his town manager report.
Is this the Thomas Convent?
We already did comments, right?
Well, the
Oh, for
second
you,
check.
you want? Can we just do this so that,
Okay.
in case there's people wanting to leave after?
Yep, up there.
All right, so,
Yeah.
select board, I'll move out of the office because you have information with regard to.
Yeah, do you want him to do his eval now? Because you said town manager report.
We can do the select board roundtable.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, let's do that.
I'll
Okay.
move out of the
Nobody,
office.
We're doing the
Josh is
select board
doing Select
roundtable.
board roundtable, it's called. And there's one
And
topic that I'm gonna
just so you
step
know,
out
what
of
we
the
intended
office.
there was to differentiate between comments and concerns of citizens
And then
comments and concerns of the
we'll
board.
do it after the Mary Lane update. We'll give the select board the opportunity for their comments and concerns.
fair enough.
Right, so call me back in
Yep.
after you do your thing.
Absolutely. All right, so we have, yeah, you want to, here, I can hand it to him. So we have the town manager's evaluation to finalize his goals. Mr. Willett has drafted up a piece of paper here, and we'll read that in. We can do it either as we go and whatnot. There are suggested goals that were created. Just so everybody is aware, this is what the paper says. I have done some work looking at Stuart's contract and possible performance goals for him. His current contract with Ware ends on June 30th, 2026. If we were to choose not to renew it, we must provide notice by March 31st, 2026, 90 days prior to the contract end. Where did he go?
He's making copies.
Oh,
Well, let's wait till he returns. Keep going?
I can talk loud.
Okay.
All right, per the employment contract, I suggest the goals we agree upon be effective from their adoption, presumably around November 1st until February 28, 2026. During the month of March 2026, we can review the goals' accomplishment and be better informed for the March 31st deadline. If Select Board elects to allow the contract to renew, our next performance evaluations must be completed by May 30th, 2026, 30 days before the close of the fiscal year per the employment contract. And then we can review these as we go down the list for the suggested goals. Yeah?
Sure. So my thinking in doing this is, I understand the board has, the select board, and Stuart has a contractual requirement that we do a performance evaluation. It's gone some time, there's been some back and forth, different forms. Stuart shared with me the results of previous board evaluations and the work that has been done, but it's definitely an outstanding item. So when I sat down and I looked at it against the timeline, I came to this timeline that Josh just shared, that in reality, it would be my suggestion, we set goals, and subject to having a conversation with Stuart and that he's agreeable with this, that would be for the next conceivably 4 months. And the goals that I've prepared are not those kinds of, in my opinion, and again, we would have a conversation with Stuart, the kind of goals that would take an entire year to do, but something that could be achieved within a 4-month period. And at the end of the 4-month, it gives the select board a month to review the results of the performance objectives, and we have that benchmark of that time frame for if we choose not to renew Stuart's contract. We have to give notice. So that would give us opportunity before that deadline. And if the board were to renew the contract and to be to go forward, then we would have to do our next evaluation by May 30, because that's required of Stuart's performance contract with the town. So that's the timeline. What I'll do is I'll give kind of a highlight. I've got 6 goals. I've got 5 listed, and there'll be a 6th that I'll add. 1 was financial, 1 was operational service enhancement, 1 was municipal benchmarking, the 4th was quality of life, and the 5th was business development, and the 6th is communications. And if you would like, I'll be glad to run down those, Josh.
Please do.
So under financial, what I'm suggesting is that Stuart would update the town's 5-year financial forecast by December 31st, 2025, with input from the Finance, Capital Finance Select Board and the FY26 budget submissions. By that point, Stuart will have gotten his budget submissions from the town department heads. That'll give him an idea of what the needs of the town are. He'll have had the opportunity to talk to the Finance, Capital Finance, and the Select Board and get a rough idea, but we really need that 5-year forecast to begin looking out, because we have some, as always, there's things that need to be funded, decisions that have to be made, but understanding what the trends look like and what we know and what does our indebtedness look like, what does our operational expenses look like. And this is just a forecast. It's not locked in stone. It's just, it's an educated guess at a particular point in time that will be altered by what reality is, but it would be a tool for us and for the town. The second, operational service enhancement, prepare an analysis of current Department of Public Works, water, wastewater, and parks, staffing and operational challenges, identify possible solutions and cost estimates. We know we have some challenges in those 4 departments as we look for growth and what we need to do. We've had a lot of information come to us, and from my perspective as a member of the board in the Water Commission, Sewer Commission, it would be helpful to have kind of a summary document that lays out what do we see from the manager who's responsible on the day-to-day operations, his summary, and his recommendations about what's a possible path forward. So that would be the operational enhancement. Municipal benchmarking, identify 3 to 5 towns of like populations, tax base, and fiscal criteria to be used as benchmarks. Benchmarks can be a valuable tool when we're trying to assess how are we as a town doing against similarly structured towns in terms of our tax rate, our finances and whatnot, and it just gives us as a select board another area to look to kind of be part of our guiding light as we try to make some of the decisions we're going to have to make in the coming years. 4th, quality of life. In concert with the select board acting as water commissioners, create, distribute, and tabulate the results of a water system subscriber survey focused on the discoloration experienced by many users. I think we know that's a real issue for many people. We have anecdotal data. It would be good to have some data that would guide us how many, how often, and what do folks think is the appropriate way forward. So just a data collection and a survey. 5, business development. Collect all existing master plans, conduct a community engagement session focused on the downtown and Mary Lane Health District with the business community, residents, and business development groups invited. Generate a summary report to provide a common understanding about our development opportunities. We've got a lot of master plans that have been done. We've had a lot of work that's ongoing. We have a lot of different organizations that are involved in it. From my perspective for the select board, if we had a common understanding of what all that work was against the master plans and what the possible opportunities are, again, it helps us be more informed as we make some of our decisions. And the last one, which is not here, but is something that I wanted to, in speaking with the board, is the communication is in presenting information to the board from Stuart, particularly for agenda items, that if not the complete packet of information, at least a several sentence summary of what are the bullet points that we'll be discussing. Sometimes we get the information just as we're in the meeting, we get the deeper details, and I find it would be helpful if we had at least a summary of what we're going to be talking about that's included in the communications to the board. So that's the 6th, and of course this would be a discussion of how we want to approach and a conversation with Stuart about his thoughts.
Does anybody else have anything to add, discuss?
I have a comment, Ken, on number 4, we're acting, this is my concern, acting as water commissioners. And I know from my perspective, I don't know anything about water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I drink it. That's about the extent that I do. And one of my concerns is that we have a commissioner, water commission, that's voted in, people run for the office, people that have experience with water, as opposed to myself as a slob who doesn't know a damn thing about it. And I know Stuart and I have talked about that. And, we were going to check, I think, of when
The proper process.
yeah. So can I'm not sure when that would go up for a vote, and if we how soon we can do that, etc.
Okay. If you're asking me, I don't know
Yeah.
how soon either. We gave it to the attorney. Through the town clerk's office, we did find how it was originally adopted in 1989, I believe, that the Public Works Department was created and the board was put in charge of it. And as part of that, the board became the Water and Sewer Commissioner. So that's when it happened.
We have the Board of Commissioners.
Yes,
Yes.
it's you. Okay, good. So that's when it happened, it was pre-charter, but didn't change with the charter. So we gave that to the attorney so they know how it was created. They had asked, was it created by state law, was it created by special act of legislature? This is a special act of legislature. So they'll look at that, and usually the way you undo something is the same way you did something, but I'll let the town attorney do that. The other option is maybe it's a change in the charter, in which case that's gonna take a while.
I think that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah,
to be
it's very,
honest with
very
you.
possible.
And also, we'll talk about this later because it kind of gets off topic, but I think I have some guidelines as to you're gonna have to be very careful, because how do you elect somebody when it's an open position being voted in based upon qualifications?
You can't.
You can't,
Yeah,
correct.
right.
So there would have to be an appointed board with that qualification to show that you're worthy of being on that board.
Well, I don't know about appointed, but.
It can't be elected, because
Why
then,
not?
because then it's, you go back to, nobody knows it. You have people that just wanna do it. That's us. That's all it becomes, is just us. That you can't have qualifications to be elected. Trust me, I know real well about this particular topic because of my background and what was done.
But if we put it out there for the entire population of.
Anybody can come in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand that anybody can do that, but this is where, any of the other elected positions that we have or committees that we have, I don't know how many there are, but people are vying on what their qualifications are.
Do you, with that being said, and we'll move on, but with the fact that we can hardly fill boards now, do you really think we're gonna get 5 people with a background in water?
I think we'd be doing better than we are now. And I'm not speaking for anybody else, the other 4. I don't know my ass from my elbow about water.
70% made off it. But no.
And I shouldn't be making those decisions.
No, but I trust me, I fully understand, but I think it's,
So the one thing I would say is, I hear your suggestion, Jack. I don't know that changes
correct.
what I'm
Now.
suggesting here, because
Oh.
whoever is responsible for that needs data, and we're lacking data. And the first step I'm suggesting is to go out through a survey and get the data. And then whoever is responsible for that at some point in time can use that data in whatever way they see fit. It may be us, and if the town votes different, it may be somebody else. But I'm working on the attitude, in the short term, it's gonna be us as the select board, as water commissioners.
Well, I mean, it is, that's a fact.
Yeah.
My concern is to change that as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And do you have anything else? Not, I just wanna keep moving.
Yeah, I think that's it.
John?
Yeah, well, mine, I think we've talked in broad terms. I have some very specific suggestions, okay, that I think it should be implemented. First one would be the pavement management plan. We had this pavement management plan prepared by the committee of, and it's 10 years old. Earlier this year, we had an application from BETA for a pavement management plan that was submitted and approved by the board. This is going to be a critical and very important document because it will set the framework for how we will be addressing our roads and how much of a commitment we're going to be making. Now, if we can get that document, that would be something that Stuart would look at and then review this and say, okay, now we have a backlog of maybe $30 million of roads. And we also have some roads in good condition that are very bad. And then make a presentation by saying, here is our plan now as to how we are going to deal with the roads. He could say that we're going to make a big commitment and work toward the backlog and the existing ones. This is something that he may do, or he may say that we're gonna kick the can down the road. I don't know. But this is something that I think that could be done quickly. Once you have that report, it can be reviewed by Stuart, could look at it and say that here's what we're doing. He knows the situation that we're facing, and would make recommendations to the board, be reviewed by the board, and then we go on finance committee, ultimately the town. What I like about this is that we can, for the first time, really have a plan of action for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years as to what we're going to do with our pavement, what are we going to do with our roads. Right now, it's a hodgepodge, there really isn't any plan at all. So I think that would be a good thing to do. The other thing that I would recommend, that we have a public hearing on East Main Street. Now that project has already been approved, but I don't know how many people know what this project is, what it's going to do, and when it's going to be implemented. This is a big ticket item. It's going to start at the corner of Main, near the library, and go up toward the bridge somewhere. And as I understand it, it would be the roads and the water supply, the power lines. I think, I'm not really sure, because I haven't really seen the document, but I think having a public hearing would let the people know what's happening and when it's going to happen. That was scheduled for this year, but for various reasons it didn't happen. But if it's scheduled for next year, I think it would be important to let the people know what's happening in there, how that's going to affect traffic. There's going to be a lot of things that need to be addressed, and the earlier, the better. Okay, second one, which is also another one, we had a grant for sidewalks that would go from Church and Pleasant up to Walnut Street, and that would be the sidewalks. Again, this is a big ticket. If you're tearing up the sidewalks, this is going to have a real impact for the town, and particularly the people that live there, and also as far as the traffic. How is all that going to fit together when these two projects are happening? Are they going to happen simultaneously? Is one going to follow the other? How is all that going to take place? So I think that would be very helpful for people as well as the town. Mike, ready?
Yeah.
Big four?
You have more?
Go ahead.
All right,
I'm on a roll.
go ahead.
The second, and it goes back to Jack's point, the water. And in this case, the water is a major issue, and it's also highly regulated by the state. They require a great deal from us. We do provide confidence reports out on a regular basis. We are meeting those, but we still have some real issues to be addressed. And one of the things that the state does is they conduct sanitary surveys, in which, I'll just read this here, they review the water sources, the facilities, the operation, and maintenance of the pump water supply system. They do that, we made a recommendation, and they also have a checklist of what needs to be done to correct that. And I think it would be very, very helpful if there was a joint meeting with the water department, yourself, board, and the townspeople as to what is really going to be taking place as far as things that need to be done to improve and maintain the water supply. That sanitary survey report is going to be fairly lengthy, and it would give us, again, a blueprint of what we're doing and in what time frame. And again, it would lead to the questions as how this is going to be funded. So again, this would come before the board. Here are the projects, here's what needs to get done, here's where the funding is. So I think that would be another helpful document to have presented in the very near future. I understand that the sanitary survey was recently done, a report has been prepared, and that we have to respond to those questions and concerns.
Right.
And that would then be a chance for the people to know exactly what our responses are, what our concerns are. And I think that would, again, raise the level of awareness It might also raise a level of awareness financially as to what changes may have to be taken to our water rates to maintain the town, maintain the town's possible.
Sure.
Go ahead, Stuart.
Well, before we lose too many points, on that point, and also tying back to Mr. Cassio's point, a reminder that in 2 weeks, the board is meeting as water and sewer
Correct.
commissioners before the regular board meeting. You will learn all about all the systems. But it also includes the sanitary survey report, to which you are absolutely right, there are things that need to be decided that night in order to respond back to DEP three days later, including a big decision regarding how the town's gonna address PFAS. So that is definitely happening, it's happening 2 weeks from tonight. Right. With regard, I don't know if you had more, Josh. I just had a couple comments. With regard to Mr. Desmond's comment about hearings for East Main Street and Church Street, I would suggest adding those two plus the mill yard into number 5. And
I think what some of John said, we can adapt into certain aspects of these here that was already drafted.
completely agree.
You know, so I think that's, yeah.
Okay. And my only other comment on the list was just picky about number 1. The first deadline of December 31st is fine for the 5-year forecast. Just the budget submissions are January 31st, so that may come later.
Okay.
Or be added
But
later.
that's fine,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. And what's not listed here is on 2 through 6, when would they be expected? And I think it's reasonable that we could set a timeline where we'd like to have some of these done by, to help Stuart plan his, and again, if we go with the 4-month concept, no, we're looking at that 4-month window, which I'd like to hear from Stuart, how he feels about that. And is this manageable?
So, are you talking about the November 1st to end of February? 4
Yes.
months? Okay. So for this list, I think that's manageable and very good. I had wondered, we had talked about things like setting up a recycling program that doesn't fit within 4 months, but, so, no, I think it's manageable. When would the next,
I'm sorry, when was the?
wait, what happens on February 28th? When would be the next set of goals or the next
So,
review or?
February 28th, the board would look at, against these objectives, the achievements, the accomplishments, and have a discussion, because we have that time frame of when to decide to renew or not renew your contract.
Yep.
And once we get through that hurdle, which would be beyond March 1st, then we would start the process of setting your goals for the following. Then we have to start working on completing your year-end report, if I understand correctly, for 30 days before the end of the fiscal year. We have to do another evaluation. And that, Stuart, to your point about like the recycling initiative and whatnot, that would be a great opportunity for you to start laying out where do you see your vision for the coming fiscal year, and get that, we could start having that dialogue. Does that make sense?
Yep. Very good.
Comment? Good, roll?
Josh, I got a couple of.
Oh, I'm still going.
Oh, you're still, oh, yeah, okay, go
I'm
for
on a
it.
roll here.
Oh.
I was going through the budget, and I just,
Go ahead. At some point, we're gonna remind that it's gotta be done by the end of February. So, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
okay, as I said, what I'm kind of looking at this on a short and long term, but if you look at the health and medical, if your fiscal 23 actual was 3.8 million, and fiscal 26 is proposed at 4.8 million. So this is almost $1 million increase in insurance. And comparing that against the fire department, which is 2.3 billion, police department is 2.3 billion, together, that's 4.6 million. So we're spending as much on the health insurance as we are for the entire police and fire department. Okay, but that's just backwards. What I would suggest that we should be looking at other plans, and that I would recommend that we initiate a call to our insurance advisor as soon as possible to start looking at other options that might be available to us. It's just really a very serious problem. That's part of what we can do, and I think the sooner we move on that, the better. This is a tough situation.
It is. And I attended a forum last week on insurance. No one had a solution. And this was led by the leaders of insurance in the Commonwealth. No one has a solution. It is going to continue to go up. We are, just by blind luck, lucky not to be in the Hampshire Trust, who had a 40% increase this year, and that's,
We just lucked
that's
out
it.
on that.
It was just luck. We tried and did not get in. But, Allison does a great job looking at all sorts of creative responses.
But it might be worthwhile to have it here and have some discussions with the board and the general public.
I want to move on to finalizing these goals for tonight. Instead of looking about hearings and everything else, let's look at finalizing out what, basically, are you gonna, what is your thoughts and opinions about the goals that have been presented before you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if everybody is good with that, we can, go ahead.
So I know we received feedback from Attorney Taylor.
Yes.
With some guidance. So what I suggest, because we're playing a little bit of a catch-up here.
We are.
And with Stuart's cooperation, we're trying to get on a predictable schedule. So if it's agreeable to Stuart and we put these goals that we've just stated into a format that he can use to measure and report back to us on, so we get to that February 28th deadline. In the month of March, we can use the evaluative scale that Attorney Taylor has prescribed to guide us in our review
Correct.
of Stuart's performance for the entire fiscal year, along with these specific goals, to help us prepare our thinking.
All right.
Rather than trying to apply that form now and review Stuart's performance at this point, I think it would be good to do the 4-month looking against these objectives and
Okay, so, great.
Oh, that's works with you.
Yeah, just want to point out, there's more to that form than response to the guideline.
Right.
there's your narrative, is that what you're saying?
No, even the scoring part is not just based on goals.
Right,
Right,
it's
yes.
subjective.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
based on, and I think that month of March, when we're looking at your performance objectives and we're looking at our next benchmark, that would be very helpful to us,
okay.
to organize our thoughts and to put it into a format.
Right, so instead of having it due by October 21st.
Right.
We can move this and then do this, do these here, the reviews individually, get them submitted by the time.
By March
By
15th.
March, yeah. By we'd say the first meeting of March or second meeting
Okay.
of March.
Yeah.
Then that way they're done, completed, and submitted beforehand. So they have to be submitted to Nicole. So we'll be looking at doing that, we'll do it for the second meeting of March. All right,
Yeah, as I said, what I was just talking about, filling in the gaps, so you can fit a goal, but then you gotta say, what specifically are you talking about? And some of the things that I mentioned now, I think in any regard, should be starting to move, because this is all gonna be part of the budget process. So, again, the sooner the better.
All right.
I do want to mention one more thing. And then I'm gonna call it a fastball or curveball. unbeknownst to us, we've had very good luck in the past getting federal funds, state funds. And we're really optimistic about this. Stuart, on several occasions, said it looks very good now, the pool, looks very good, gone. So now we're faced with that particular problem. Also, we were on Cottage Street, that was going to be another major project. The streets, sidewalks, sewer lines, the whole thing.
No, John,
Probably
does-
a million, that looks like it's gonna be in the history books.
right, but we're talking individual projects right
I know.
now. I want to make sure that we move on. I don't want to be here till midnight.
Well, no, but again, I think that as you start looking at all of this, you should be cognizant of the fact that the funding, that the sources that we've had in the future may not be there we've had in the past, may not be there in the future. I just want to get that information out to you.
Okay. All right. All right, then, go ahead.
Okay.
Last one.
All right, this is gonna be quick. Stuart, this is just a quick status with some of the things that
I
we.
think you'll have Mrs. Talbot for that part.
What's that?
Wait till
Yeah.
the chair is back.
Is this regarding
Oh,
his
okay.
evaluation, or is
No.
this? No, then,
Okay.
okay. Then, at this point, the town manager evaluation, we already finalized the goal. I don't think we need to have a motion. You accepted the summary of goals
Yes.
for the 4 months?
Yep.
I'll work
Okay.
with Nicole on drafting a final set.
Okay. All right, with that being said, we can have Nancy come back in. We can have an update on the stage curtain, and then we can move on further. I'm gonna order a pizza, have it delivered here.
Hold on, I'll call again.
We're not doing bad.
So, curtain?
Curtain.
Okay.
Update on the stage curtains.
Very quickly, it's in the town manager's report. The state approved the presented encapsulation and cleanup plan for upstairs. We've chosen a contractor. The person that did the study will oversee the contractor's work. The cost is about $9,500 to encapsulate the curtain. In your packet attached to the town manager's report is a letter from Mrs. Lack, Chair of the Historical Commission,
Yep.
just stating their desired goal is to preserve the curtain. So by encapsulating it, we're allowing it to be preserved and could be raised, but raised to the point where you can see the design. And then it's, for years you couldn't, nobody even knew there was a design there. So this will allow it, that'll make it safe. We will have to work with the fire chief as to whether that'll meet, the original intent of the curtain was to prevent fire from spreading. So what he will require, whether it'll be a backup curtain or something else, but.
Stuart, there used to be a backup curtain years ago.
Yes, you
It was
can see that.
So dry rot, right, it was
Yes.
dry rotted and it fell to the
Yeah.
wayside.
So we will move forward with that cleanup, because there's many things looking to use upstairs, particularly in December.
A question, Stuart, once the curtain is encapsulated, will it be able to be raised and lowered?
It'll still be flexible. So raised, it's a great question about whether it'll still work as intended, which was when the fire burns through the rope, it drops. Well, again, you have to go back to the fire chief and find out if that's acceptable.
Yeah, I guess my question is more, if somebody's using the space and they're gonna use the stage for whatever, will the curtain be permanently down as a backdrop, or can the curtain be retracted up out of the way? So they could put up a set or something?
Depending on what the fire chief wants, our thought is to raise it to the point where only 4 feet, which is where the design is showing. So it'll be above
Okay,
the other curtain, which is right about that level.
okay.
So at which point, because I know there's stuff up there that I need to clean up, but,
I think you're 3 weeks out.
okay. I just don't want to leave up there too much longer, but I also don't.
Completely agree.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then we can talk about the Mary Lane Hospital audit report again, or do you think we
I
covered?
have nothing new beyond what we've said.
Nothing, okay, all right. So, now having said that, comments and concerns from the board members, because that's what you wanted.
Thank you.
I noticed, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, down by where the pool was, there was a lot of construction going on. It wasn't in town. It was, there were a lot of state employees doing something. Can you tell me what that was?
Yes, it was a state contractor. They were finishing off and/or redoing the required disability access entrances into each street, so the ramps into each street. The previous contractor did not do a great job, as we know from all the stones that were in the road last summer. So they were redoing, their new state contractor redoing that work.
They've done it the entire length of pretty much West Main Street, all the way up to, I guess,
Clinton.
Eagle Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to mention went to the fire department open house. It was very nice, very well orchestrated by everyone. It was a very nice time. And the other final question was, on September 1st, from the DCR, we had a report, water supply protection, forest management proposal. Did that go to anybody? They're supposed to review that to see if there's an impact on the water supply. Is that ring a bell?
I missed the first sentence.
Okay, this is a letter from the DCR on the water supply protection FY '26 forest management. Okay, that was a letter sent to us.
I'm missing one word. What's the word before management?
Yeah, and they wanted a review of this, so whether or
Watershed.
not this would affect any water supplies.
Okay.
Okay.
I can look at it.
Okay, I'll give it to you, and then we can either water supply or conservation or somebody. Okay, so let's take care of it.
Jack?
Yeah, please. Stuart, just a couple of mundane questions. The dead animal that was near the church, 61, can't remember the address, Sacred Heart Church?
Okay.
Holy
I did not go pick it up, so is it still there?
Sacred.
I don't know.
I will double
But
check.
I got a call up, what's that?
Where's it?
I don't know.
Holy Cross?
Maple Street, yeah.
That's Holy
Holy
Cross.
Cross,
You
that's
just said
what-
Sacred Heart.
Well, somebody had texted me and they said Sacred Heart.
Okay, it's Holy Cross Parish.
Yeah, so it's, okay.
I will check on,
All
I'll
right.
check on the animal.
Yeah, please. And status of the overgrowth along the dike, the overgrowth management?
Yes, we're in the process of hiring mowers, so
Okay.
that'll be taken care of before fall.
Can I just interject? Is that dead animal still there? I'll go get it tonight. I mean,
I don't know.
it's 61, where?
Maybe.
Maple Street.
I mean, if it's a dead animal, you're not gonna go and waste your time during the day. You have other things to do.
But,
It's not his job.
no,
No.
I wasn't implying that. I was,
No, he said he was gonna.
what Jack had asked is that I
Yeah.
reach out to DPW to pick
Okay.
it up, and
Because I was gonna
I
say.
don't know if that happened.
I can go, I have a truck, I just throw the dead animal in the back of my truck. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Also Buckley Court, just a status on that.
Yep, we've contracted the contractor, he's waiting for parts.
Oh,
As soon
okay.
as the parts are here, ready to get it running.
All right. And the signage, I know you were gonna take a look at the blinking lights. They looked like they were working
They are.
over to the crosswalks.
Yep, not sure which one, because we had a lot of blinking lights not working, but Pine Street, they're blinking, and now the school district is blinking, so those are fine. What we still owe you is wider stripes on the Pine Street
Yeah.
crosswalk. So,
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anybody else? Ken?
So Stuart, what's the status of closing out the hydrant replacement project? I know there was still some reseeding and bringing it up to grade in some areas.
Right, in terms of contracting, still has to be done, although I haven't seen them back. They have to pick up pipes and reseed. In terms of financing, we've got a hiccup that's gonna require research. As you know, it was funded over 3 fiscal years. The money didn't disappear before we go down that road, but it may have been put into the water reserve, and if that's the case, then at November town meeting, we'll have to get it out again in order to fully pay the contractor. But,
And
but other than that, the project.
I want to just publicly commend the police department for their recent action on Otis,
Yes.
because we know that there had been some neighborhood issues and some concerns were brought to the board, and I don't know if what the police department did was related to that, but they were able to, I believe they made 2 arrests, and that certainly should help. So I want to recognize that, and then want to recognize Pathfinder and congratulate them. They're looking to expand their offerings by going to a vacant elementary school in Belchertown and utilizing that. And we have residents who send their children to Pathfinder, so I think that's a great opportunity for our town as well as, so I want to congratulate Pathfinder on that.
Yeah, the expansion is going to be unbelievable, and the programs that are going to be afforded. Josh, can you read off some of them?
Yeah, so I'll also be asking that we submit a letter of support so that there's a grant that's opening for them for, I think they're looking at seeking $5 million from the $100 million CTE grant. Give me 1 second. I will be more than happy to go over. So the programs that they're going to be going at, and mind you, they're going to be doing this in collaboration with the elementary school children while school is still going on. January of '26, they take over the building, Pathfinder. And then they're going to basically start a full demolition and renovation of the building and all the interior and stuff like that in June of '26, and they will be opening the doors to that campus August 26th of '26. Some of those programs are going to be medical assisting, animal veterinary science, engineering, public safety, and early childhood development.
That's awesome.
What grades are they?
This is 9th through 12th.
Thank you.
What, I graduate from there, I have a child that goes there, I have other children that want to go in there, so I've been always kind of embedded into the school, considering what it did for me. Overhearing what was done by the Healy administration by having a lottery system for children, not only does that system of a lottery put Pathfinder's name in absolute jeopardy because of its high reputation right now, some children that are in the district, and this is the first time in many, many years, every single slot that was taken was done by a district child. So they can't have out-of-district children for this 9th grade class that's in there right now. But that actually could have hurt children from going there with this lottery system. And by opening up 150 additional seats, this will almost guarantee that the lottery system may not be needed anymore or have an effect, which makes it pretty easy for me to sit there and hear all this stuff, considering I want my children to go to that school. So if we could eventually draft up a letter for support for this initiative, Pathfinder, to get that grant. I know last Friday, Mr. Duda stated that he has a template, so if we could maybe reach out and see what their template looks like and then have that draft, and then the select board can sign that on behalf of us.
Okay.
It's really, really big. It sounds like this is going to be one fantastic deal for the youth in our area.
That's great.
The kids are coming out of this school at $100,000 a year, and the market is in demand for them, and there's not enough. So this is a huge support, a huge need in our support. Met a lot of other communities, and the overall thought in the room was this is an incredible thing for our children.
Thanks, Josh.
That's excellent, Josh.
Town manager report, really?
You thanked the fire department for their open house. I also similarly want to thank the Domestic Violence Task Force. Both adults and high school did a terrific job on Sunday afternoon with their walk and their celebration of the years of that they've been in existence. The swimming pool committee had a meeting Monday night. moving forward with an article for a special town meeting. They will go see the capital planning committee, which is meeting on October 14th. Your October 21st meeting, you've already scheduled some hearings. The issue that was to be discussed tonight about the policy for petty cash with the treasurer collector, she wanted more time to discuss with the police chief, and she will be here on October 21st. Just to put into your minds, if not get some feedback, the town has been approached by a solar developer about the use of the landfill by the Banis farm, and would propose a lease. There are two ways that can be approached. The town, as it did several years ago, could issue a request for proposals and see what companies would propose and what they would offer as payments to the town for the use of that land. But state law for energy agreements does allow the town just to choose a developer. Personally would recommend the RFP process just to see the variety of offers.
When you do the RFP, do you have to be specific about lease versus them actually doing it themselves? I don't know how to phrase that. I'm trying.
Yes.
I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do, whether they're, correct, whether they're gonna purchase the land or lease the
Or lease,
land
right.
and just get the credits. So, yes, previously we had done a lease with a previous company. I would also say there's a expert consultant in the state, and she came, you may remember,
I
or some
do.
may remember, that she came in at the end of the process last time. It'd be worth talking to her, at least to show her the RFP and make sure it's up to standards, if there was an RFP. The positive for just picking a developer, well, this developer is holding against them, is that you save 6 weeks of procurement time, but I'm not sure personally, that's worth it. So,
Does the board have any indication of how it might wish to proceed, or should we?
Well, if one developer is interested, it might be two developers.
Well, it's-
And I understand the 6-week procurement. I don't know that that's an issue for the town as much as it is for the developer, but I think we've got to try and get the best deal for the town. And I'd probably lean towards doing the open RFP. Once the board determines the property is surplus to the needs of the town and they're willing to consider it, I think that's a first step. And then the second step would be, if that's the direction we choose to go, is, my sense would be an RFP.
What kind of concerns, or have you even had a discussion with the Board of Health? Because I know that, don't they oversee also because of the,
they do.
Yeah.
So, when the town put it out before, there were concerns, and as part of the agreement, the lease, is that should the cover or the cap be damaged anyway, that's on the developer, and so that would remain in place, but certainly worth talking to them again because it's a whole new team.
yeah, I think you'd want to
but-
have a conversation with
But,
them.
yeah, and for this board, and maybe others, at that time, the lease was for, it was actually in two parts. It was for the landfill and for the Banis property.
Correct.
The landfill is still a landfill, but, you know, now we have a rail trail and a water trail that runs through the Banis property, and whether
Yeah.
that's affected by solar panels, and whether you just want to consider the landfill for this time,
Yeah.
or not at all, and just leave everything alone.
Have you been in touch with the Board of Health?
On this topic,
Yeah.
no.
Would
I
it,
think it might be,
would it be
think you do.
beneficial for us to have a joint meeting with the Board of Health?
Certainly, they should probably talk about it amongst themselves first, and,
Right.
but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
At least they have to know of it and get their comments.
What happened to the other solar company that was interested? I
It
know his
took-
name was Ed. That's-
It took too long. for the state to approve its solar credit program.
Okay.
So they asked the town if they could put the lease on hold. The town granted several months, but after that said no.
Okay.
So they
Just wanted to make sure that there was nothing,
No, they backed out.
okay.
Yeah, because that cap was $2 million on that landfill, so that's important.
Yeah, they're just.
Well,
putting-
yeah,
that
it
be
needs to be
maintained.
protected, absolutely.
You can see, especially today, the progress of the water tank project. They've finished sandblasting. There's a lot of layers of paint on the top, and it took them longer than expected, but the sides went very well. They're on schedule. They started painting. You can see the new color. And they should be on schedule. They asked permission if they finish ahead of time to start work on Anderson Road. Wisely, the water department said, well, let's get Church Street back up and running before we do anything over here, because if anything goes wrong, you don't want to be down 2 tanks.
No.
So, anyway, it's going very well. The neighbors definitely should be thanked, because they've put up with some low volume as well as
Noise.
long work days of noise. So, but because of that, they continue to be on schedule.
They're still working 7 days a week too, is my recollection.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the expected completion date?
Halloween, the end of October.
Halloween, we said it,
Halloween, October 1st. No, yeah.
it could look like.
October 31st is the deadline.
You want to talk about the sign?
It arrived today. It's beautiful. It'll go up. It's be used both at Church Street and then at Anderson Road. Just talks about the importance of the project and letting people know that progress is being made and how it's being paid for. So excited about getting that in place. Oh, there's more. Well, this ties into the goals, actually. I do want to clarify one position of the suggestion of the board about the DPW department and hierarchy of what we'll be hiring. Either last meeting or 2 meetings ago, the board had suggested that we advertise for operations managers for water and sewer while we were looking for a DPW director. So we had all 3 out at once. I interpreted it, but I want to clarify whether it's 2 operations managers or the DPW director, or over time you envisioned all 3 positions. I'll stop there and then tell you where we are with how that worked.
I thought it was all 3.
Me too.
I thought it was 1 director, the operational manager for wastewater, and operational manager for water.
Okay,
I don't know if the board, other than I hear Nancy saying.
No, that's what
it
my
was,
recollection, yeah.
all right.
so.
So,
I looked
okay.
at my notes, I just didn't know.
Take that back to our process. I will say that, thank you for that suggestion, because we've had 2 great interviews. So 2 out of 3,
Which position?
Suitably for any
Operations.
one of operations or
They could- what-
DPW director.
Yeah,
one's definitely operations, and
Yeah.
one can either be operations or director.
Really?
No. So, one, and we have to work this in, is not able to do full-time, but has so many good qualities that in one position or the other, he might work very well.
Not able to do full-time to start or
No,
forever?
period.
I don't know about that. While the background and everything else may be amazing, point is to have this full-time and committed.
Okay. Just,
I mean, that's just my opinion here, but I would expect, because now all of a sudden we're playing with salaries, his salary wouldn't be the same, you know. And I don't want to say, well, we're going to be saving money.
you're not, because you're adding 2 new positions.
Right, but by saying, well, if he works less hours than full-time, he's being paid less. I prefer to have somebody come in, it's a full-time position. I mean, thank you for the interest, but if you came into a job where their demand is full-time, I don't know why somebody would come in and say, well, I can only work part-time.
Okay, right now we have 1 day a week.
Oh, I fully understand, but.
Yeah, we want to
So
get,
3 days a week
And we're
feels better.
struggling.
Right. It feels better, but is it better? I don't think it is.
that's a good statement.
It feels better, I
Oh,
mean.
no, it would be much better than 1 day a week, but.
Right, but full-time is ultimate, it's really what's needed for this town, is a full-time commitment.
Okay.
I mean, that's just me,
For all three,
yes,
okay.
it's just.
We're
just-
adding a lot of money to that budget. Okay.
I want to see us move forward so that we can start moving ahead, having projects. You take on a lot of responsibility because of the lack of us having the appropriate individual store. You know you do.
Well, but in this case, it's more not me as it is the chief operators right now. This is gonna take a lot off of their
Right,
backs.
but I'm sure there are
So-
things that are not getting done.
Yes, either for time or for qualifications, but, okay.
So if I might, Stuart, you're involved in meeting the candidates, looking at the qualifications. You've described them both as being very well qualified. I think it's up to you to come to us and to say, here's what I'm proposing to do. I think if you feel you have a full-time candidate that would fit one slot, and you have another candidate, but you weren't sure if it was a good match for Public Works or a good match for one of the other operators, I'd like to hear from you, where do you think is the best fit? How do you think this is gonna help the department, and what's the next step? You know what our feelings are as a board. We'd like the two operators along with the DPW director. If you feel you've got an opportunity to propose an alternative that could benefit the town, I'd like to hear it. And I'm hearing there's possibility, but I don't know what the plan is, I don't know who's doing what, and how that's gonna work. So
Right.
I'd like to suggest, we have our meeting coming up on the 21st, the Water and Sewer Commissioner.
I agree.
That might be a great time to talk about that, and say, here's what I got, and and we can talk about it then.
So just as a refresher, that meeting is at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
On the 21st.
Yes.
Yes, not the 14th.
Yes, the 14th we have
All right.
ADA, what's the matter?
Nothing. I'm not sure all of this fits in an hour.
It won't.
Okay, so maybe the regular board meeting could start at 7 that night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, because there is a lot for that other
Yeah.
meeting.
We already have a hearing scheduled for the 21st at 6:40 and 45.
Do we just,
We have the public hearing scheduled for 7 o'clock.
We have 3 of them scheduled that night.
But,
What else
but
did
have
we
we
schedule?
advertised any of
We
them?
did.
What else did we schedule, remind me?
Dog.
We have a
Oh,
dog
the public hearing for the Quorum.
The building demolition?
The building demolition, the dog hearing, and now the quorum.
So then we start at 6:30.
We had executive session planned for,
We can do that after.
We can do executive session
Or-
after.
Or we can bump it.
Okay.
The executive session, we can bump 2 weeks.
okay,
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
sorry.
No,
so we'll start,
good to keep track.
Have we posted the Water Commission, Board Sewer Commission meeting?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. We'll make it work.
Okay. The facilities manager today finished sealing what we believe is the leak that was under the ramp that affects the back of this building. And tomorrow, well, give or take the weather, tomorrow, we'll start working on finishing the ramp, and something that the Friends of Town Hall have been waiting for a while is the wiring of the lamp that's
Oh, good.
on the ramp, so that's exciting.
And he's getting the bittersweet up in the tower.
Yes, but he is going to attack that with chemical, so.
He's gonna what?
He's gonna use
He's gonna
something to
poison
kill
the
it,
bittersweet.
rather than pulling it out, which is probably better, because pulling it out with that masonry.
Well,
Yeah.
plus, despite how it looks from over there, it's
Yeah.
over the edge.
Yeah.
It's not at the top.
and as we've talked about this in the past, if you pull that out, It does nothing.
It comes back.
It's going to come back tenfold, and it's going to drive deeper and deeper into the masonry, because that's what that plant does. You just irritate it. And the more you irritate it, the stronger it becomes. So chemical is the only way to work. I did suggest that too last time, I was told no. Chemical. So,
Yeah, make it, because the tower, we put work into the tower and the clock, it looks,
so
yeah.
hopefully too, not that I know a lot about this, but we're using 2,4-D with glyphosate to kill it, or else you're just gonna aggravate it again. So that's per gallon of water, and I can give you formulations if you need it, but we wanna kill it.
Yes. We've talked about most of the other things, the bottom line, the bottom item, the capital planning committee is meeting on October 14th to go through the list of articles that should be in hand. They're not, articles, reminder, are not due till October 15th at noon. I think that's what we have. I can't talk about the second to last thing. I shouldn't have put that on there because the governor embargoed it, but hopefully we'll be able to make that announcement.
Okay.
Okay. Stu, what about the senior center? Do you want to mention that? Town where can proceed with approved measures for the senior center? I got it, I assume you did.
Town what?
The town where can proceed with approved measures, 220,000 senior
Oh,
center.
no, we had
being
mentioned that in the
paid
past, that we received our
Okay.
Green Communities grant. That's just noting that the state has signed the contract and can go forward. But I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a process. As you know, there's cracks in the senior center walls. Those are gonna get repaired first before the installation of the units for HVAC.
Okay. Well, no, I knew we had talked about it before, but,
But now it's in hand.
huh?
Now the money is in hand.
Right, all right.
we like money.
And capital planning, you had an initial meeting and then we're supposed to be going,
October 14th, they'll be hearing from the departments.
what time is that one?
Capital planning
Five.
is 5.
Okay.
And I attended that meeting.
Okay. Alright, so there's nothing else on the agenda, unless you have something else. Halloween is Halloween.
It is. Probably time
Bigger
for,
costume,
time for an adjournment.
Do you know what Jack knows about water?
what? I heard. I was
My
like,
elbow?
oh my God.
Yeah, your elbow.
I can't believe you said that. Anyway, I
8:18.
would ask for a motion to adjourn at
I'll make-
8:18.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:18.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley.